Good morning, everyone. And as you can see, there's a ray of hope for every investors and cryptocurrency trader in India after yesterday's announcement on Bloomberg that India is planning a GST on trade of cryptocurrencies. What it eventually means that India is not going to be banning it because they're going to be charging GST. And of course, there's a lot of news yesterday that whether this is a false news or this is a true news, but I do think this is coming out from some trusted sources because this is completely broken down on in every point, like how the cryptocurrencies are going to be treated, how the transaction facilitated, how the supply, transfer, storage, accounting will be treated, and things like that. So I do think that this is coming out from the trusted sources, and this is alleged news. And in that way, the India is on the verge of regulating cryptocurrencies, and it's a brilliant move by India, to be honest, because by doing so, they will not only please all the cryptocurrency investors, but they will also help the adoption. And there's no question asked, you will see more and more companies forming their startups here in India without them moving out of India. And this is a very important step because we keep complaining. I mean, we do have fun talking about that how India is not taking steps which are very, very important for India. But I think the important point here that needs to be remembered is many countries are still struggling with this news. For example, Zimbabwe and many other countries have still not figured out a way to deal with the cryptocurrencies. And in this scenario, if the India does come out with a scenario for cryptocurrencies and they regulate it, I mean, that's a brilliant move. That means India is still ahead of the curve compared to all the other countries, and that is why I'm quite pumped about this news. I'm pretty proud of India as well for coming out with this news. But again, we still need to see whether what happens is this what something that they're gonna that is going to be applicable in the next 2 months. Of course, there is a hearing on 17th of July, but whatever the signals we are getting so far, it's quite positive in terms of setting up more crypto to crypto trade, in terms of coming out with GST regulations, and in terms of even High Court, or rather Supreme Court, having a hearing on this issue. So I am quite positive that India is going to lead the curve, and that's a brilliant move. I will just a little bit talk about the Verge cryptocurrency. So if you are holding a cryptocurrency, you will see a slight drop in the price because there were a couple of millions of dollars of Verge cryptocurrency which were hacked. There was a DDoS attack, and this is the second time it's happening in the last 2 months. So about 250,000 XVCs have disappeared in the thin air. So just in case if you're holding Verge coin, I think this is something that you should be aware of. I mean, I think this news came day before yesterday. I want to talk about a couple of regulations. So Chilean central bank president considering regulations of cryptocurrencies. And the reason why this is important is in Chile also it was a similar scenario. There were 2 cryptocurrency exchanges which were ignored, or maybe which were said no by the famous banks there, saying that we will not be supporting you, we will not be giving you any bank account because your guys are not legit. So now it has turned otherwise. Now not only they have asked the high courts and the Supreme Courts, whatever in Chile, they have asked these banks to support cryptocurrency exchanges, but at the same time the president is also considering regulations of cryptocurrencies. As you can clearly see, there is no single country which can actually stay without regulations for a very longer time. This is another one, which is a Golik exchange, which is in Zimbabwe. So this is a very similar to what is happening in India. So Golik exchange has filed a lawsuit against Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. I think this is something also we spoke a couple of days back on the channel, wherein the Central Bank of Zimbabwe had stopped the support. Now they have also been filed a lawsuit, same as India. So a lot has been happening in terms of regulations, and if you are holding Monero, Zcash, Dash, what is this, Rep, and Augur, and Steam, these are some of the cryptocurrencies which have been stopped by Corbett. Now Corbett is South Korea's one of the biggest exchange, so they are all of a sudden they are going to be delisting these cryptocurrencies, so you might see some impact on the price. They haven't given any solid reason why as to why they are doing that, but I presume that this is again going to be a regulatory issue, because the regulators are not quite happy with the privacy cryptocurrencies like Monero, Zcash, Dash. But I'm still shocked why they have removed the Steam, because Steam, I don't think that's a privacy cryptocurrencies. So yeah, so this is what is happening. I hope that India continues the cryptocurrency adoption and stays ahead in the curve. And I think people into the traders or the investors into the space are quite happy paying the GST. Of course, there are some other opinions as well that there should be no GST, but I think there has to be some way to regulate cryptocurrencies, and I think India has found a way. India has found a way, because this is quite a definition of how they're going to be treating cryptocurrency. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm pumped. And let's see what happens. Definitely leave your opinion on this in the comment box below, because this is a legit post. It doesn't look like this is like an anonymous source. Of course, they chose to be anonymous. The source chose to be anonymous, but the kind of points that they have written, it looks like it's legit. So leave your opinion of what do you think is going to happen. Do you think India is going to be regulating cryptocurrencies? And thank you so much for watching. Hit that like, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day ahead.